All content looks the same now. And half the time, I can't tell if what I make is coming from a place of true creativity or an incessant need to regurgitate what's performed well to stay relevant. Is this really my style? Or is what I'm creating the result of endless amounts of media consumption with zero boundaries? I grew up during one of the peaks of skateboarding. The 90s and early 2000s were a time of rebellion and cultural shift. It was an era defined by punk bands, hip-hop feuds, colorful breakfast cereals, and a switch from analog to digital. And as a young kid, I heavily attached to all of it. That era painted a lot of who I became and the way I gravitated towards making art. I really miss how physical things used to be. Things were simpler and full of feeling. I used to feel more connected, honestly, both to the real world and myself. My creative process needed a sense of grounding again, and there was only one thing I could think of doing. Over the last couple years, I've been blessed with some of the latest and greatest pieces of gear. But lately, what I was really craving was a downgrade. Looking for an old digital point and shoot. Any recs on which one? Hey Jazz, have you checked out our camera and lens comparison tools over at DPReview.com? DPReview.com. I can't say I've heard of that.
Yeah, so we've been covering the photo space for the last 25 plus years, and we've built this tool that allows you to compare features and help you find what you're looking for.
Ooh, a comparison feature tool? That sounds pretty cool, but do they sell cameras?
We don't actually sell gear directly on DPReview.com, but if you go to the comparison tool, you'll see we have an integration with MPB. You can go directly to their site and grab your gear from there.
Okay. Sounds promising and saves me from having to deal with Facebook Marketplace. But I'm gonna have to go home and see for myself. I had no clue what I was even looking for. I hadn't owned a digital point and shoot since 2015, but I decided to plug in a brand I was at least extremely familiar with. And just like that, a huge selection of cameras I didn't even know existed popped up. After comparing bodies, it didn't take me very long to land on the Fujifilm X-Q2. The zoom lens, built-in flash, and 1.8 aperture all stood out to me. The MPB had one in stock. With real photos, 6-month warranty, and an MPB-approved inspection, wow, sold. Oh yeah, and there's definitely something else I've been meaning to pick up as well. I needed a new fisheye. Boom, found one. Now, all I had to do was wait. Rick Rubin wrote something in his book that really stuck with me. He said, "It's helpful to view currents in the culture without feeling obligated to follow the direction of their flow." I'm not always the best at taking this advice. Getting paid and keeping my artistic integrity is a fight that I am still struggling with. But I have to remember what makes me me. I like simple tools and golden light, moody scenes and niche lens choices. I honestly love the perfectly imperfect. And I can't say I have all the answers to creative fatigue or battling the pressures of the algorithm, but as I continue the search for the most sustainable way to navigate creativity, business, and my sense of self, I have to think that maybe, just maybe, the best way forwards is back.